as an international student as well. And yeah, so just going off of that and also making sure that you understand what life looks like as an undergrad in the US. Um, so just so you know, we will have time for questions in the end. So make sure you have them ready throughout the presentation. And if you want me to repeat any point, you can just drop it in the chat. I will make sure to address those as well. And as I said, I would love to see your faces. So if you could turn on your cameras, if that's possible for you, that's always great. And yeah, feel free to use the chat feature as I already mentioned. So yeah, let's get started. So a little bit about me, I guess. My name is Saumick Pradhan. I use he, him pronouns. I'm a third year at the College of Engineering and Applied Science in the University of Cincinnati, Ohio. And I'm studying Bachelor's of Science in Computer Science with honors. And I'm also pursuing the Student Leadership Certificate along with that. And I'm also pursuing my master's in engineering in computer science and artificial with a track in artificial intelligence through the Ascend program, which is essentially the accelerated master's program that we have in the College of Engineering. More on that later. And so my program is a co-op program, which is a cooperative experiential learning program. I will definitely talk more about my experiences during my two co-ops in the following slides. But then along with that, I did my high school in Mumbai, India from Srimati Sulochana Devi Singhania School, which followed the ICSE ISE curriculum. So that was something that I followed from my first grade to my 12th grade here in Mumbai, India. So here's a picture of me in front of our mascot, which is a bearcat. And every student that goes to UC takes great pride in calling themselves a bold bearcat. And whenever we come on campus, we always have to take a picture with our mascot. So yeah, going off that, let's talk academics. I know academics is a huge part of being an undergrad, especially when you're an international student. So in the US, we don't really have subjects, but we have courses. So we have topic specific classes which focus on specific fields of your studies. And again, it really depends on the program that you're a part of, but then usually they are specific to the field of your study and focus deeply on certain aspects of your major. We have a credit-based system here. Usually, in order to graduate, you need 120 credits. But again, it depends on the program that you're a part of. And every semester, students typically take about 15 to 18 credits, and 18 credits is the maximum that you can take every semester, give or take, which leads to about 4 to 6 courses or classes, as we like to call it. And here, as you can see, there's a chart with all the semesters laid out. And typically, we have 3 semesters: the fall, spring, and an optional summer semester, wherein you can take classes. Every semester is about, I would say, 14 to 16 weeks long, and it's like a fast-paced semester wherein you learn a lot of things within those 16 weeks, and then you're done with that class for the rest of your college journey. We have GPA and letter grading system over the percentage system that we typically see in the Indian education system. So, which means that every class will be graded with a letter grade. So let's take an example of calculus. If you get 90% or above, it's usually considered as an A. And then all these letter grades are cumulatively collected in order to get your GPA. They say your GPA is an important factor, essentially when it comes to your scholarships and other things related to academics. But I look at GPA as a holistic score and not just your academics, because in order to succeed in your college life, you also need to balance other aspects of being a college student, which we would definitely get into in the next slides. So breadth of knowledge classes are essentially those fundamental building blocks in your undergrad journey, which help you build that holistic experience of experiential learning, and also teach you different aspects of being an undergrad student. So it can be anything from a fine arts class to a historical perspective class, diversity, equity, inclusion, society, culture, and ethics. So usually students take 3 classes. but it again depends on your program that you're a part of. I personally took US history as one of my breadth of knowledge classes, Asian culture and macroeconomics. So you can see how variety of options that we get when it comes to choosing your breadth of knowledge classes. Um, the courses are definitely less focused on exams. You might have projects, attendance-based classes. Class participation might also be super important when it comes to your grades. I know I had a class which was purely based on assignments, and that was the primary requirement for the study material that was being taught by the professor. So you need not worry about cramming in for that final exam or a board exam, that as we like to call it in India. It is definitely paced out regularly within those 16 weeks of a semester, and you don't really have to cram a lot of content for a particular exam. So that's pretty much it for the exams. The schedule is super flexible. You can select your own timetable, your own professors. I feel like that really helps you have a proper work-life balance. So you can pick and choose what things you want to do and at what times you want those things to be done. So it really helps you decide how your day is going to look like, and you can manage different things around your schedule. So in order to move ahead in your schedule, some students can also take advanced placement classes in your high school, which is your 11th and 12th, or take IB level classes, college credit plus exams, which can essentially help you move ahead in your undergrad journey by getting your college level credits in your high school. So because of that, you can either graduate faster, add a double major or a minor to your degree, along with a certificate program, or just like me, be part of an accelerated master's program, which is the Ascend program that we have at the University of Cincinnati. So it essentially helps you do a lot of other things by getting you that head start in your college journey. So let's talk about campus life and extracurriculars. That's like one of my favorite aspects to talk about whenever it comes to talking to incoming students. Meeting new people is something that I feel is super important when you are an international student traveling abroad for the first time for some people, and just getting out of your ecosystem and trying different things. So I personally use social media a lot. I felt Instagram was my primary way to reach out to people, following university related pages and making sure that I am up to date about all things university, and making sure that I understand whichever event is going on campus, and I can at least go out and seek out those experiences myself in my freshman year or my first year was very important for me. And as I said, attending events is really key because you get to meet a lot of new people from different backgrounds, different perspectives, and not just stay in your own friend circle throughout. Um, Other than that, in-class participation not only helps you build connections with your professors, but then it also helps you build connections with your peers, because having a solid peer group in your major is very important, because it will help you throughout your 4 to 5 years of undergrad journey, as you will be able to learn off of them and work collaboratively together. Sporting events. So US has a huge American football culture, and I would personally give you all a recommendation to at least try and make an effort to understand some of the US sporting events or the sporting cultures, because it's a great icebreaker. I feel it really helps you connect with the local people and make those connections with them, because you can talk with them something about something that they are interested in as well. So make sure you do that. Attend sporting events if possible, and last but certainly not the least, just step out of your room. Make sure you put in that effort, get out of your comfort zone. Don't sit in your room the entire day and just wait for people to reach up to you. You have to put in that first step in order to get out of your comfort zone and challenge yourself to do better. Joining clubs and organizations is super key and is really important. I have the school rule of the 3 org, which I call the 3 org rule, which is joining a club that is of your interest, one that's related to your major, and then something that's completely new to you. So at least three clubs or organizations are super important or very important for you to be a part of. Just to name a few clubs that I have been a part of, I guess, would be the College of Engineering Tribunal and the student government for my university. It really helped me make those connections across campus and be be the change that I wanted to see at the university that I am a part of. So that was something that was of my interest. I'm also part of the Google Developer Student Club on campus, which is again related to my major. And then I'm also part of the International Students Association, which is called IPALS. That is something that I wanted to try, and that is something that is new to me because I wanted to be a part of a diverse group of friends and make sure that I get those variety of experiences throughout. Other than that, I'm also an ambassador for my college, which is the College of Engineering at the University of Cincinnati as well. Greek life, for some of y'all which don't know, Greek life basically includes fraternities and sororities that promotes brotherhood and sisterhood and various aspects of the university. So if you're interested in being part of those, there are numerous Greek life organizations at various universities that you can be a part of. So I would highly recommend y'all to check that out as well. Cultural diversity, I know going away from home to a new country comes with a lot of changes, and with changes comes challenges. So some of them might include the food. You might not be able to be accustomed to the various food habits that we have in the US. But I can assure you, most of the dining halls on campuses are well equipped with your particular dietary requirements. You just need to go out and ask for them and make sure they know of your need. Climate and homesickness are definitely some of the other factors that do affect you when you are going to a new country. I personally prefer the warmer climate in Mumbai because being a Mumbai kid, being a Mumbai girl throughout my life, I definitely was used to a warmer weather. But then it's just a change in that mentality and change in your thought that can definitely make you feel comfortable in any climate that you want to be a part of. So just making yourself mentally prepared of whatever climate you're going to be a part of is super, I guess, very important. Um, and along with that, identity-based associations or clubs really help you a lot. The Indian Students Association and the South Asian American Students Association are some of the clubs or organizations that I have been closely associated with, and they have really helped me bring my community, bring a community to me at my university, and really provide me that home away from home factor, which was really important when I first moved to the States. Some other points that I would like to address is giving back to the community as part of community service is something that is very common here in the States. Coming up with personal projects, either to build your own resume or your profile, but then again, giving back to the community is very important. And just making sure that you are upscaling yourself every day and just not sticking in your own comfort zone, as I feel that is something that has really helped me a lot as well. And making your circle diverse, meeting new people from different majors is really important as well. That's how you can get different perspectives. And I feel like that's the whole point of studying abroad, is to get more diverse perspectives throughout your journey. So some of my pictures, I guess, some of the sporting events that I attended, I am a huge football fan now, which is the American football. So yeah, like 3 years back, I didn't even know what the sport was, but now because of my local friends or my American friends, I am able to learn that sport and be a fan, I guess. Celebrating Halloween, celebrating local festivals there is really cool as well. And we also get time to celebrate our Indian festival. So this was me being part of the Diwali festival this year with my fellow Indian international friends. So that was cool as well. And then again, just having that experience with a bunch of diverse people really helped me a lot throughout my experience. So another question that I get asked a lot on emails is, "Hey, Saumick, how can I get my first on-campus job?" And the way I look at on-campus jobs or like part-time jobs is I don't look at them as jobs, but I look at them as experiences that could add value towards your skill set. So rather than looking at it as a part-time job, I would count it as a part-time experience along with your academics. So basically, simply asking yourself these questions of how is it adding value to my degree and how is it upscaling me, or what skill am I learning off of this part-time experience is something that is very important when it comes to getting those part-time jobs. And also reflecting on the skills that you're learning throughout is very important because you will be able to track your progress through these part-time opportunities as well. Just to highlight some technical aspects here, I guess usually, and I guess typically international students are allowed to work 20 hours while taking classes, but definitely reach out to your advisors for that because it can depend on case by case basis. So these are some pictures from my on-campus experiences so far. I was a IIT or I was a tech facilitator for the College of Nursing, as you can see highlighted here. I worked on troubleshooting various Apple products, and that was a cool experience that I had. I also worked as a machine learning engineer at my university library as part of a research team. As you can see highlighted here, that's my office. I was also associated with the University of Cincinnati Foundation as part of the Alumni Association, making sure I manage the database for all the alumni that are associated with my university. Summer, I was an OER, which is basically an ambassador for all the incoming students, making sure that we give campus tours to them and just provide them a welcoming environment when they make the transition to their college journey during their freshman year. And now I'm working as a resident advisor, which is basically a position given to a student which manages resident halls across campuses and making sure we have a healthy living environment and a community that encourages learning, diversity, inclusion, and all skills that are required for the growth of any individual living on campus. So again, another question that I get asked a lot is about the co-op program at my university. So the cooperative education and internships program that we have is a great way to build professional and real world technical skills early on in your academic or your professional journey. So UC's co-op program is actually ranked #1 among the public universities here in the US, according to US News. And the Bearcat promise that we have here is that when you graduate, you not only have a degree in one hand, but a plan for the future in the other. So that is something that was really cool when I first saw it. And I have to do 5 co-ops in order to graduate. I'm already done with 2 of them. Both of them at Levi Strauss and Company in San Francisco. The first one was as a machine learning engineer, and the second one was a data ops engineer. Both of them were some of the best experiences that I've ever had in my major, and I would definitely encourage you all to at least have some sort of experiential learning aspect associated with your degree so that you can use your theoretical knowledge and apply it in the industry. Every university has great resources that you can use. They have co-op or internship advisors, career fairs. I personally use LinkedIn a lot. It's a great platform to meet recruiters and employers. And again, networking is a great skill to have, and it's something that builds up over time. But harvesting a great network or a great resource of people is very important. Life outside university. So we all know the mantra of work hard but play harder, and you can definitely take out time from your busy schedules to pursue your passions and your hobbies when you are in your college life. So these are some pictures of me hanging out with my friends. We go on dinners and just like make it a point to at least catch up every weekend so that we can share our experiences throughout the week and just have fun and not be studying throughout. I always like to try different cuisines and try different restaurants, so I make it a point to do that every weekend. I'm a huge coffee connoisseur, so I love to try different cafes. So I make it a point to pursue that as well. And I love traveling. I want to make it a point to travel every state in the US. So I'm slowly checking off my bucket list as I go throughout. So you definitely will have time to have fun as well, and it's not always work. So yeah, acing adulting, I feel, is very important. With independence comes responsibilities. Going to a new country means you would be independent, but you also need to take care of yourself all by yourself. So managing your finances, completing your course, it's all on you. And if you don't want to get something done, or if you want to get something done, it's only you who can do it and no one else. Because I mean, we would always think that there would be a friend of yours who would be helping you, but that's not the case. Self-care is very important. Taking a break, stepping back, stopping and reflecting is very critical when it comes to having that healthy mental state of working and managing your relations with people, giving time to everyone, but not overcommitting someone, and learning how to say no to certain commitments is, I feel, a really important tool or really important habit to build. And yeah, just managing your legal work, your documents, because being an international student comes with a lot of paperwork as well. So just doing all that by yourself is something that you need to be prepared to do. Um, but we also have great resources on campus. You just need to ask and reach out to the right people. There will be people to help you. You just need to put in that effort to ask questions. You have friends, you have mentors, your upperclassmen who are of great help to you. As I said, just ask the question and just be you. Um, this is, I guess, one of my favorite slides. Time management and prioritization. I'm a huge believer in time management. Um, I believe in organizing your tasks and having a proper to-do list, breaking down every task, using the SMART technique, which is to have specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound skills is really important, and making sure that you divide all your tasks according to the SMART technique. Another rule that I constantly have in my mind is to pick three out of these four options. That's something every college student has to do. So you have your academics, your part-time job, your sleep, and your social life. So out of these four, you got to choose only three, and you have to sacrifice on one. But I feel if you organize your tasks and if you manage your time properly, you will be able to have a clean balance between all four of them. So just to make sure that you have your things sorted out in four spheres, make sure you manage your expectations and manage your resources pretty well. And don't forget to have fun throughout this entire process. You might feel overwhelmed because of a new beginning and just the pressure of going to a new country and making an impact there. But I feel if you just learn to take a step back, analyze your progress, enjoy your progress, be happy, and then move ahead, it will definitely help you in the long run. So just have fun, just put a smile on and move on. And I guess that's pretty much it for my presentation. I hope it was something that you all were looking for and something that really made you understand my experience as an international student here at the University of Cincinnati. And now I would love to open the platform for any and all questions that you all have. So you can either put it in the chat, or yeah, I think you should put it in the chat. Thank you, Gitanjali ma'am, for sending it in the chat as well. Okay, I see one question. How do I balance work and study? How do I balance? Oh my God, the questions are just rolling down. How do I balance work and study simultaneously? That's a great question. I would definitely love to go back to my previous slide, which is to manage your time. What I personally do is I have a digital calendar on Outlook with two different sections. One which is my work calendar and one which is my study calendar, and both of them have different color codes. And I make sure to put in all my work and study commitments on that calendar so that I can make sure that I'm not doubly booked or I'm not over committing to something or under committing to something. So I feel like just having that as a planner and then making sure to prioritize your tasks, some tasks that you want to be completed as an urgency or some tasks that are actually important. As you can see, I have this cool image here, so you can probably make use of that as well. And yeah, just making sure that you have everything laid out properly on your to-do tasks, and your digital calendar is something that has helped me personally as well. But yeah, that's a great question. I see a question about scholarships. I personally am not able to answer questions about scholarships, but I would definitely direct you to our international students department. The link or the email to which would be in the chat somewhere. So yeah, make sure you definitely send that email out to them because they would be a great resource to handle all questions scholarship. Um, I see a question about housing at UC. So that's a great question, and I would be able to answer that because I'm a resident advisor on campus. So we have great housing styles on campus. We have some apartment styles, traditional styles, something that can fit everyone's needs. So if you want your private room, we even have those available for you. If you want to share your room with someone, or if you want to live in a studio apartment with a kitchen, so all these various styles of living are available, and I would highly recommend you all to check housing.uc.edu as the website because we have tons of options there, and it's like a never-ending list. So make sure you definitely check it out. And I personally love living on campus. I've lived on campus throughout my 3 years of being at UC. But yeah, I hope that answers your question. Yeah, thank you that you loved the presentation. And yes, I hope I answered your question about housing as well. Does working in co-op help me with my tuition fees? I would definitely say it definitely helps me be independent and not be financially dependent on my parents. But again, it depends on how you save money. I feel like when it comes to finances, it's not about earning money, it's about saving money. Because if you save money, you earn twice, if that makes sense. So yeah, you just need to pick the right lifestyle and make those right sacrifices in order to save money and then in turn help pay off your tuition fees. So yes, it is definitely possible. And I would, yeah, and I would hope for the best. Why did I choose University of Cincinnati over other universities? That's my favorite question. So I feel that because of the Bearcat promise that I talked about and because of the co-op program, UC was a no-brainer for me because just having those experiential learning aspects built in within my undergrad was really helpful for me to expand my horizons and just be a working professional while still being a student. So I would definitely bank on those. And some majors which do not really have that co-op program also have other alternatives for experiential learning. You can do community service, which also counts as an experiential learning program or an experiential learning aspect towards your major. So UC definitely believes in that, and I would highly encourage you all to check it out. Yeah, we have some questions about housing, and we have some major specific questions about computers. again, I wouldn't be able to highlight major specific questions here because it's a generic panel. But just to answer your question real quick, it's not difficult to learn any major if you don't have any previous background. Let's say computer science, if you didn't really have any background in computer science, it's not difficult because your freshman level or your first year classes do help you clear those fundamentals throughout your first semester and your second semester. So it's a level playing field for everyone, and no one has a head start. So just trust the process and trust your university. But yeah, that's a great question. I had the same question when I first joined university as well. So yeah. Um, can you please explain the credits and hours system? I don't know the meaning of these terms. Sure. So credits are basically the value of every class that you're taking. So a class can be from 1 credit to 4 credits on an average. And if I take a class, given an example, calculus, it might be 4 credit hours. So throughout my 4 to 5 years of undergrad, I will be taking, let's say, 10 classes, and then every class having a value, a credit value associated with it will add up to a particular number, and that's typically 120 credits. So it's just a way to track the number of classes that you have taken for your major, if that helps you with your question. But yeah, that's a great question. um Again, I appreciate you liking the presentation. um can you tell me more about your co-op experience as a computer scientist? And I'm sorry if, oh, that's fine. Yeah, my just to talk about my co-op experience in general, it might be a bit intimidating for any student to get into the real working environment as a working professional in a huge tech company. For me, it was very intimidating and challenging as well, working with Levi's, because it's one of the leading companies in the apparel industry, and working in their headquarters in San Francisco, traveling all the way from Cincinnati to San Francisco was again a huge challenge for me as well. But I feel that having those right people with you, having those and making use of those right resources that we have on campus is something that really helped me as well. And they don't expect you to learn or know everything when you are entering into your first co-op, because you are basically a freshman out of college when you get into your first co-op or your experiential learning program or your internship. So it's fine. Trust yourself, because the employers trust you as well, and that's the reason why they hired you. So yeah, just trust yourself. Um, can I do my academic and BOK credit requirements in any order? So that's a great question, and I feel that's a question for your academic advisor. But talking from my personal experience, yes, I did talk to my academic advisor as well, and we were able to shift some classes throughout my couple of years at UC so that it could best fit my own schedule. So every student has a customizable and a personal schedule that you can follow. So yeah, make sure you talk to your academic advisor. Again, questions related to financial aid and loans can be directed to the email ID provided in the chat. And is the 12th score considered for co-ops? I feel it is definitely considered as one of the factors for your first co-op or your first internship. But then after that, I feel it's all about the experiences or the projects that you build throughout your freshman year, and some of your extracurricular activities, your college GPA, which is your university GPA as well. But yeah, that's a great question. And questions about AP credits can also be directed to your academic advisors. But yeah, I don't want to say something wrong on this panel. So just making sure that you get the right resource to answer your question. Will I be instructed on which classes I should take? Yes, your academic advisor is the perfect resource for that. Is living on campus for the first year mandatory, or can we live off campus? So usually international students live on campus. But for that, definitely reach out to housing@uc.edu. They would be able to answer your question for that. I lived on campus my freshman year, so it might be different for depending on the individual. Um, Again, thanks for those lovely comments. And I wanted to know if university provides vegetarian options. Oh yeah, definitely. We do have great vegetarian options on campus. I believe we have 4 to 5 dining halls on campus which have customizable and specialty cuisines associated with them. So we have a dietitian on campus as well, which can address your dietary needs if you have any allergies or any restrictions when it comes to certain type of food that you want to eat. So uh, to answer your question, yes, we do have vegetarian options. Um, Questions like laundry, yeah, every university housing or dorm, as we like to call it, has a laundry unit associated with it. So you need not worry about that. And you need to do your chores on your own. Um, and yeah, again, thank you. Any major related questions can go to international admissions office. Um, any specific questions about travel? I'm afraid I'm not the right person to answer those, but you can definitely send that out to the international department. They would definitely help you out. Um, I have a question about wanting to know the amount of time I spend on studying and how the classes are held. How much time would be left over for part-time and social life? That's a great question. The generic answer would be it depends on the individual, but talking about myself, um, I look at classes and homework and everything academics to be like a 40-hour per week job. So on my calendar, I tend to not exceed 40 hours every week, which includes everything related to homework, studying for my tests, attending classes. So I hope that gives you generic idea for the time that I spend on studying. And when it comes to part-time, it's 20 hours over that. So yeah, I typically don't work 20 hours. I work 10 hours, but then it also depends on the week, how tight my schedule is that week, and yeah, if I'm able to give time to my social life as well. But yes, I make sure to complete all my homework, all my assignments on the Thursday on or before Thursday, so that I get Friday, Saturday, Sunday free, and I have time to hang out with my friends and not overwork myself. So yeah, um, it is certainly doable, but this is like an ideal week. So yeah, sometimes it can go over that, sometimes it can go under that as well. So yeah, that's a great question though. What is your opinion about double majoring in two completely different things? Um, I guess it's do my personal opinion would be it's doable, but talk to your academic advisor. They would be the right person to address that question for you, because it again depends on what major you are choosing and how well they correlate to each other. Um, I see a bunch of questions on co-op and balancing your day-to-day life with your co-op. That's a great question, I guess. So when you're transitioning from your co-op to your academics, I feel like my co-ops really help me get a decent amount of habit built into my system. So I wake up on time because of my co-op. I am able to complete my day by 5, and that kind of trickles down into my academic semesters as well. So it's not really difficult to manage your co-op and your academics simultaneously, because at the end it depends on how well you are able to make that change. I personally think that it's not really difficult to make that change, because when you're in your academic semesters, you you are a student, but then when you're on a co-op, you're a full-time professional. So managing that balance it's not that tricky. That's what I feel. Um, can you move out of state for an internship? If yes, what about academics if you have to go out of state? So if you're doing an internship, it's usually not during your academic semesters, because a full-time internship can never be with your academic semesters. So yeah, you can definitely move out of state. That's what I did as well. And when I was on my co-op, I didn't really take classes because that was my co-op semester or my internship semester. So yeah, that's I hope that answers your question. Um, and then we have questions about how would you suggest I move around campus? That's a great question. So the University of Cincinnati campus is a very close-knit campus, and you can reach from point A to point B in 15 minutes. But then the campus is also huge because it has a lot of buildings. So even though the campus has a larger area, it gives you that small campus feel. So walking is definitely a great option. We have amazing shuttle systems, which are the buses that we have, which are completely free of cost for every student that you can make use of. So commuting wouldn't be a problem on campus. And questions about visa can be directed to the international office. Um, how many internship semesters will be there? It depends on your program, honestly. Sometimes it's 3 internship semesters. Sometimes it's 5, as that is in my case. So really depending on what major you're a part of, you will be able to make use of those co-op semesters that you have. Um, does the university make any group for new incoming students from India so we can connect? Um, I believe yes, since the past 2 years, that's been the trend. There has been a community for international students. I wouldn't say anything for the upcoming academic year because things change every time. So, so yeah. Again, if you have any questions about building your community or just getting in touch with other peers from India, definitely reach out to that email and make sure you ask them the questions. But from past experiences, we did have certain group chats created for um, international students from the Southeast Asia, or like South Asia region. But yeah, do you, um, I mean, I can give you generic advice on applications, but I wouldn't be able to like give you in-depth details on that. For application questions, reach out to the international office. Um, would the university help you when you're on your co-op? That's great. That's a great question. I see a lot of questions about co-ops, so that's great to know that you all are interested in the experiential learning program here at UC. So yes, to answer your question, the university does provide you with tons of resources. As I mentioned, you have a co-op advisor, which essentially helps you throughout the process from preparing your resumes, preparing for your interviews, your career fairs, and making sure that you're ready for putting yourself out there in the industry and applying for these jobs. So yes, that's that. Again, as I mentioned, we have the career fairs where a bunch of companies from the greater Cincinnati area and all over the US come in and look for students for co-ops, especially for international students as well. So that's something that you should make use of. We have the Bearcat Career Promise Studio, which is a great resource for uh, upscaling yourself, improving your resumes, and making sure that you're presenting your best self in front of these employers. But yeah, so to answer your question, yes, the university does help you a lot. Um, how are classes held? What are the timings of classes? Are they fixed? Are they based per week? And can we complete classes beforehand so that I can finish my graduation early? Is that possible? That's a great question. So I wouldn't really answer a question about graduating early because I'm not an academic advisor, but from my personal experiences, if you do take up additional credit loads during your initial semesters, um, you can definitely graduate faster because that way you will be able to complete your 120 credits earlier and may be able to graduate a semester or two before your actual graduation date. But just a broad disclaimer, this depends on your program. So definitely talk to your academic advisor. But yes, typically that's how it works. And then your classes are like you have, I guess, daily classes similar to what you have in an Indian college. But yes, it's not like your Indian high school wherein you have to sit in the same classroom from 9 to 5 or whatever. So you have to go to individual classrooms, meet those professors. The professors will conduct your classes, and then after like an hour or so of the class, you might have an immediate class after that, or you might be done for the day. I know some students have classes worth 2 hours every day, and that's it. So their day ends at 9 a.m. in the morning or 10 a.m. in the morning. So yeah, it depends on your schedule, and it can definitely be customized for you. Could you please elaborate on what community service is? Yeah, definitely. Community service or volunteering uh, is one of the important factors of being an undergrad student, because giving back to the community is, I feel, not only a responsibility, but then is something that you should always look forward to, because in that sense you can create an impact in your surroundings, make the change that you want to see, and just meet new people. So some scholarships do require you to have community service or volunteering associated with it, but I wouldn't make any statement right now. So just make sure that you reach out to your college when it comes to community service for your scholarships. But if that was your question, um, how many credits do I have to complete each semester? Um, Again, it depends on your degree, but then usually typically students take from 15 to 18 credits every semester in order to stay on track for their graduation. So yeah, if that answers your question. Um, I do see a question about OPT and visa regulations. Unfortunately, I won't be able to answer that here because I am a student as well, and there are other people who have jobs that do help you with those questions. So definitely reach out to the email for those questions. I would be able to answer questions about just being a college student and living the Bearcat experience. But yeah, questions about visa and um, yeah, OPT can be directed to them. Thank you. What's the average class size like in my experience, and how does this affect my learning mindset during classes? That's a great question. Class sizes can depend on the class that you're taking. It can go as low as 10 to as high as 200 for any class. So some of the freshman level, first year level generic classes, which are to be taken by most of the students, let's say English or mathematics, can go as high as 200. But then some of those project based low level or like high level classes which are major intensive can go as low as 10 per class. So it really depends on what level you are in your undergrad journey. But yes, I would say typically it will be 60 to 70 for your sophomore level classes or your third year level classes, if at all. um what is the average living cost? I guess I can give you a rough estimate, and I'm not an expert on like living costs, but then living on campus is completely different. When you live off campus, you have to manage your own bills, but then um, it is definitely manageable. I wouldn't give you an exact number, but then you can obviously look it up online as well, because things change, but then it is definitely manageable, and Ohio as a state is definitely affordable as compared to, let's say, California and New York. So yeah, that's definitely not a huge challenge when it comes to managing your living situation. I have a question about clubs and Greek life. Sure, I would love to answer that. So the University of Cincinnati has a system called as Campus Link, which is a one-stop shop for everything clubs and organizations. You can just look up anything that you want. So if you could go online and just look up campuslink.uc.edu and type in something that is of your interest. If I go on and look up something, let's say something completely random like hot chocolate, I'm sure that I would definitely be able to find a club that is related to hot chocolate. So you can just go there, click the join button, and then people will reach out to you. If they don't, then you can definitely email them, because you'll be able to see their email IDs right underneath that page, and they would be able to answer your questions, and you will be able to join those clubs. Um, Also, a common misconception about joining a club is that you need to be an active participant in that club, but that's not necessarily true. You can be a passive participant as well, and just shadow someone from that club, get your experience, get the experience that you want from them, and just be part of that club while actually learning and not doing work, if that makes sense. So yeah, make sure that you are getting what you want from those clubs, because they are more than happy to welcome you in their communities. um, Again, questions about earning on campus and earning, working part-time. I know you can definitely look up the minimum wage in Ohio. I I feel it is somewhere around $10 per hour. So manage your expectations in that sense, and that's like the average that you get when you are working as a part-time student. But yeah, managing your daily expenses while working um, on a part-time job is not very difficult if you are able to save money and manage your finances well. Um, so yeah, just making sure that you choose the right lifestyle that you want, and put your best foot forward. Um, could you mention the link? Are you talking about the link for the clubs? If yes, then you can just Google University of Cincinnati campus link. I can just like type it in the chat. Um, um, yeah, campus link, and then the first one that pops up would definitely be the one that you would be looking for. But yeah, we have about 4 minutes for this meeting. If we have any last questions, I can answer them till like 6:58, and then we can wrap up this session. I see two more questions. How often do you get holidays in the university? That's a great question. So depending on your major, you might be able to get the summer semester as a holiday. Um, that's like one huge chunk of holiday that students can get. If not, we also have Thanksgiving breaks. We have the winter break, which is for approximately, I would say, 30 days. Excuse me. So yeah, you can definitely make use of that. I'm currently on my winter break as well. So yeah, that's something that you can look forward to. And how many classes every day? Again, it depends on your schedule. Usually for a freshman or a first year, uh, I see this pattern of having at least 2 to 3 classes every day. And your freshman level classes are sometimes really packed, but then that's because they want you to get all those fundamentals cleared in your freshman year, which is not something that you need to be worried about, because it's a very fundamental way of learning your basics for your major. So yeah, to answer your question, it's usually 2 to 3 classes every day. Are there classes on weekends? 99.99% for an undergrad, the answer is no. But then there might be an exceptional case wherein you will have to take classes on a weekend. But I have personally not